Hello, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for taking your time to join this webinar. We'll start in another 1 or 2 minutes. There was some technical glitch for some of the participants, to join the webinar, but we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes and then we'll start the session. As of now, we have 19 members. I guess a few more members would be joining us soon. We'll start exactly at 6:03 or 6:04. If you can hear me loud and clear, please give me a quick thumbs up in the chat. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. I'm getting so many thumbs up now. All right, let's start the session. We have 22 members as of now. I guess a few members would be joining us soon. So before I begin the session, it's always this particular pattern that I follow, that I formally introduce myself and then I ask all the participants, to introduce themselves, because it's important for all of us to know who we are, where are we joining from, and the location we are participating in this webinar. So as you can see, my name is Amjad Razal. I work at Keystone Center for Innovation and Teacher Education as the head of research. So this particular organization, KCITE, is a pioneering organization that develops programs on like social emotional learning, financial literacy, digital citizenship, and project-based learning. Apart from that, we also have teacher education as a separate department where we conduct this type of webinars on a regular basis. So the people who are joining for the first time, thank you so much for registering yourself and participating in this webinar. So we have been doing this in the last like since past 2-3 months, and this is, I guess, the sixth or maybe the seventh webinar today. So please remember, all these webinars will be conducting on every Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. So I'm from Hyderabad. Now I would request all the participants to please introduce yourself. Please use the format, mention your full name, the name of the organization you work for, and where you're joining us from, the location. Only use the three things: your name, the name of the organization, and where you're joining us from. So Ms. Sujata from Bangalore, thank you and welcome to the session. I request everybody to please introduce yourself. We have one more person from BPPS, Mrs. Shiba Khan, I guess, from Bhopal. Thank you and welcome to the session. Sabah Nazneen from Al Falah School, Toli Chowki. Thank you and welcome to the session. Mrs. Sarita Yadav from Bal Bharati Public School, Nishadpur, Bhopal. Okay, thank you and welcome to the session, ma'am. Deepa Sharaf from Maharishi Vidya Mandir Senior Secondary School, Chennai. Thank you and welcome to the session. We have Anur Selvi from Nava International School, Muttur. Thank you and welcome to the session. Rana Siddiqa from Al Falah School, Hyderabad. Thank you and welcome to the session. Mrs. Rupinder Kaur, teaching in the Indian School, Delhi. Thank you and welcome to the session. Ishika Kushwaha from Bal Bharati School. Thank you and welcome to the session. Mrs. Parvinder Kaur from the Indian School, New Delhi. Welcome to the session. Shalini Patel from Bal Bharati School, Nishadpura, Bhopal. Welcome to the session. Megha Raghuvanshi, Bal Bharati School, Nishadpura, Bhopal. Welcome to the session. Thank you. Vijay K.R. Yadav, teacher from Delhi Government School. Thank you and welcome to the session. Lokender Singh, Nirmal Ashram Gyan Dhyan Academy, Rishikesh. Thank you and welcome to the session. I need the introduction from all the members. Come on, please. There are how many? 34 members now. Okay. We have one more person, Priyanshu William from Jabalpur. Thank you and welcome to the session. Payal Saraf from, you have given the abbreviation, the short form of the name. I don't know what that is. You're from Mumbai, and thank you and welcome to the session. Myself, Divya, we from Siva Swami Kalalaya, Senior Secondary School, Chennai. Thank you and welcome to the session. Neha Sharma from Bhal Bharati, Nishadpura, Bhopal. Welcome to the session. Sangeeta Rathod from Bhal Bharati Public School. Thank you and welcome to the session. Rita Suresh from Capital Public School, Bangalore. Thank you and welcome to the session. Hiteshi from BPPS, Bhopal. Thank you and welcome to the session. Sandeep Sharma from Bal Bharati Public School. Thank you, sir, and welcome to the session. Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Sarita, for telling that I was gonna ask you and all the other participants. Thank you for attending this webinar. I guess this is your fourth webinar. So Reshma CS from Narayana English Medium School, Kerala. Thank you and welcome to the session. Jyoti Badigar from Capital Public School, Bangalore. Thank you and welcome to the session. How many? I guess there are 25 members who introduced. There are a few more members to do. So please do so that we'll move to the next part of the session. So the people who joined late, little late. So I am Amjad Razal. You can see my name on the screen that you have. So I work at KCITE as a head of research and programs. I have completed 12, 13 years in the education space as a teacher, principal, and now I work at KCITE as a head of research and programs. So this particular organization is in Hyderabad. We conduct this type of webinars for teachers because we are on a mission to build the teacher community in the country and bring the positive change what we want to see in the teacher community, and also to benefit the learners. So we train the teachers so that they can go back, implement those ideas and strategies, and you know um, see the amazing result. Okay, all right, these many people, I guess 25, 30, not even 30, I guess people have introduced. I need the introduction from all the other participants. Now we have 38 members. All right. I'll wait for a couple of seconds and then I'll move to the next part of the session. So before I move to the next part of the session, I would like to ask all the participants to please tell me if you're joining this webinar for the first time, for the second time, for the third time. Somebody already said that she's joining this webinar for the third time, I guess, or maybe the fourth time. So please tell me in the chat, is this your first webinar with us, or second webinar, or the third webinar? Okay, somebody said. All right, I see a lot of people said this is the second webinar. Fourth, it is the first webinar. Thank you for registering and joining us. And yeah, first, second, third. There are many people who are joining for the second time. First, yes, I see there are some new people who joined for the first time. First webinar. Okay, great. So the people who have joined for the second time and the third time, thank you so much in believing in what we are doing and trying to do with this type of webinars. So, like I said, we are building that teacher community to bring about the change that we want to see and also benefit the learners. So every Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. is the time when we conduct these type of webinars on a regular basis, and we share some insights, some strategies, some resources, where you can go back to your classroom, implement them, and see how those strategies are helping you. So everything that we communicate during these webinars, it's completely free. So we do not charge any money, and like we have not asked you to pay for the registrations. So yes, all right. I guess a few more people who said, okay, second. All right. So before I begin, there is a quick webinar setting for all of us to remember. So it's just a simple thing that please keep your microphone always on mute, and you can use a chat anytime to ask any type of question. I'd get the notification. I will see that and respond to you. And if you want to ask anything, you can raise your hand raise emoji. And by that, I will also get to know that you have a question. So I'll ask that. If your internet bandwidth is good, you can keep your video on. And if the internet bandwidth is not good, then you can turn off your uh, video camera and also the microphone. And yes, the time will definitely be given to you to clarify anything. So you have to utilize that opportunity to ask any question, and I would definitely and happy. I would be happy to answer those questions. So after this simple webinar setting, now there is this objective you all need to remember. So I know this particular webinar is about strengthening that parent teacher collaboration. So at times, at school we try to collaborate with parents, and they also come to school, ask any question that they have, and try to get the clarification. So simultaneously, we also need to know what are the other things that happen at the same time that can make the whole collaboration successful initiative, and also help the learners, the students, in their academic success. The reason we start the school, we teach the students, is to teach them, educate them, shape their personalities, and also let them become successful in their academic journey. So here we have a webinar objective. As you can see, you are going to identify the benefits of parent-teacher collaboration and recognize common misconceptions, that act as barriers to effective partnership. What are those misconceptions, which you are going to discover in this webinar? I'm going to explain that in detail. And you will also be applying at least three simple tools and techniques to improve communication and build meaningful collaboration with parents to support student success. So after attending this webinar, you can go back, implement some of those strategies, see whether those strategies are helping you or not, and then you can reach out to us through our community or different way. You can reach out to us and tell us, okay, what exactly is not helping, so that we can again maybe conduct another session exclusively to address that particular concern. Okay, this is just a little bit about the webinar objective. I see there are a few people who have introduced themselves now. Akanksha Mishra from Bal Bharati School, fourth time. Thank you so much. I believe the people who joined for the second time or third and the fourth time, it's because the way we are conducting and communicating simple things through these webinars are really giving you some perspectives, some ideas, some strategies, and you feel, yes, these webinars are helping me in my learning journey, and that's the reason you have decided to join us and this webinar series again and again. Thank you so much. We have one more person, Premlata Singh from Sanskriti School, Pune. Thank you and welcome to the session. All right, I'm going to the next part of the session. So this is something I love and I always do in all the webinars. So now I'm going to ask you to use the chat to respond to this question. So which word best describes how you're feeling right now? Please use the chat to let me know which word out of all these four describes how you're feeling right now. Thank you. People started saying curious, curious. Everybody, come on. Curious, curious. Everybody is curious. I got only five. How many? We have 44 members. Curious, very happy. That's nice, actually. Curious, excited. Yes. I'm also excited to have this session today and talk to the people who have joined. Neutral. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Curious. Come on, people. We have so many members. Please. How are you feeling right now? What is that verb that can describe your feeling right now? How you're feeling? Okay. Next question. Next thing to do. If your mood was an emoji, what would it be? Now, do not type the emoji. Just use that emoji and text me in the chat. If your mood was an emoji, what would it be? Very happy. Nice. Great. We have one more person. When you are sending the messages, so please keep the setting as group setting, because I'm getting a lot of messages as direct messages, so that everybody would know and we can have, we can share that energy with each other, right? Yeah, now I can see there are so many happy, satisfied, happy faces. Wow, great. Nobody's sad or angry today. I'm angry because I don't know. Wow, there are so many happy faces. Great. Just by looking at these amazing emojis, I am actually really feeling happy and, uh, satisfied, really happy. You can see, I'm kind of blushing on the screen. So whoever is texting again in the next few minutes, so please use the chat and use the like two groups meet group chat, okay, so that everybody can see and everybody can know what you're typing, okay. Many of the messages are coming to me as direct messages. Okay, we have one person, Ritu Khan from Bal Bharti, I guess, BPPH, PS. Thank you and welcome to the session. Yeah, all right, I think I got nearly 20 responses out of all 46, 47 numbers we have right now. So now the next thing I'm going to ask you is, what's that one thing you're grateful for today or for this week? What is that one thing you're grateful for today and for this week? If I am going to answer this question, I would say I'm grateful for an amazing, experience that I've had in this particular week. Um, that really made me feel proud of, being myself, being with certain people, and I'm being in the organization I work for. I had an amazing meeting with my boss. Okay, my pick is the TP of my student. Oh, really? Maybe on WhatsApp, you mean? Because here I'm only seeing the letters. Okay, gain knowledge, great. Social work you have done, awesome. All the other people, you can tell me that thing, that experience, you are grateful for could be, something that has happened today or maybe this whole week. So that we are ending this week with one positive thought, that we are being grateful for that kind of an experience. I got only three. Come on. I request all the other members to please let me know. Creativity. Thank you for saying that. Oh, you met your school friend. Awesome. Nice. That's great. I help my student to understand a difficult question. Nice. Okay. I think we'll move to the next part of the session. Yes. Okay. Now we have something to show you. So, like I was mentioning in the beginning, that we conduct these type of webinars on every Saturday, and I'm thankful to everybody who registered themselves for the first time, for the second time, and they join our webinars. It's because you believed in our work, not for the first time, but the people who joined for the second time, for the third time, you have been registering for all the events and all the webinars that we've been posting, and you are taking out your time this one particular hour dedicatedly to learn something, gain some new information, perspective. And this is what we have achieved. This is what, the impact we have created. You can see the people who join, this is the data from the previous webinars we have collected. So people who have joined from all parts of the country, see how beautiful the country India looks with the people who have joined from different places. And the beauty of this thing is, all these people you see, these are all the teachers who have participated in the webinars and, made us achieve this. And not just that, all these people from 25 cities, from 6 countries also. We have participants from Cameroon, from Zimbabwe, from Kenya, one from United States of America, one from UAE, and some other countries, yes, and also the 14 states. So thank you so much. And if you feel like these webinars are really helping you in learning something, gaining some new perspective, and you want to be part of this in the coming weeks, coming months also, please give me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up. So your encouragement would help us, motivate us in deciding and, coming up with different topics, and conducting these webinars in the upcoming weeks and months also. And I promise we would be consistently conducting the webinars and giving you all the resources, the information, perspectives based on complete research. And when you join our community also, you would be part of the community where you will get the resources. And we are building this community, teacher community, educators community, and we want everyone to be part of this, and we want to be like everyone to feel proud of what we are doing. So thank you, everybody. I got how many, like 15, 20 thumbs up. I need from all the members. Now we have 52 members. So you see that in the last few months, we have come to, achieve this. So we definitely want to take this journey forward, conduct these webinars and give you the knowledge and information. So we need a little bit of encouragement from your side. Please give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up. If you don't give me a thumbs up, I'm not going to go to the next slide. I'm just kidding. I'll go to the next slide because you are investing this time here. So obviously. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I guess 25, 30 people have given me the thumbs up. Okay. Thank you. Now, there are a few things. Let's start the session, and from here, the learning begins. So the first thing is what we're going to do is I'm going to show you something and you have to tell me whether it is true or false. Okay. Based on whatever you type in the chat. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Based on the messages that you give in the chat, I'll select the option and then, okay. This is the first question. First thing to understand, regular communication between parents and teachers helps identify and address student challenges. What do you say? This is true or false? If you want me to explain this a little bit, I can explain in simple terms. Regular communication with the parents, it helps in identifying those challenges and yeah, I guess 99, 80, 90% of the people say yes, this is true. Okay, should I lock it? All right. So I'm going to submit yes, true. This is true. So please understand this, between teacher and parents, there should be regular communication, not just to send the updates. Whatever is happening in the classroom, when we communicate that with parents on a regular basis, I'm not saying daily basis, regular basis. Okay. Daily and regularly. Regular in a sense, if you send the messages, let's say, for example, in a week, you say 2 times, but every week you do 2 times. So that's also a regular thing, regular category. Okay. So regular communication between parents and teachers helps identify that challenges and address those challenges. Thank you so much. The answer was true. Now, the next question, parent teacher collaboration is only necessary for students who are struggling academically and behaviorally. So please tell me whether it is true or false. Parent-teacher collaboration is only necessary for students who are struggling academically and behaviorally. Yeah, I see a lot of responses, for this answer to be false. All right, I guess 15, 20 people said false. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to select false. Yeah, false is the correct answer. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to the next question. Parents should depend only on report cards to understand their child's academic performance. What do you think? False or true? Reports cards are enough. Apart from that, parents, they should not see anything. Okay, that's the meaning of this thing. So parents should depend only on the report cards to understand their child's academic performance. Yes, thank you everybody for telling me in the chat. I think there are 90% of the people said false, and few people are saying true. Okay, so 90% I'll go with the majority. If it is false, let's see whether it is false or true. Wow, that is false. So parents, they don't have to only depend on the report cards just to understand how the child is performing in the academics. So apart from that, there is feedback by the teacher, okay, where the teacher writes down whatever the child is performing and how the child is behaving in the classroom. Because report card only will have primarily the marks and the score from different subjects, okay, and there will be a small space for the feedback. So teachers, they have their own anecdotes, the behavioral reports, and there are so many other things. So when they come for parents teachers meeting, that is when the teachers open that particular document and show them and make them read, this is what we have observed your child behaving in the classroom with the peers, with the students, and this is what it is. So based on that, yes, parents also get to know not just in academics, okay, but there are other reports, other documents that are helping me to understand my child better. Okay. All right. Now, the next question. Teachers and parents should align their expectations and approaches to create consistency for the student at home and school. Is it true or false? Parents and teachers should align their expectations. What are the expectations for this, my child, for this particular academic year? And whatever the approach is, okay? Like how to communicate, how to get the messages, how to support at home, everything, the approaches and okay, the expectations to create that consistency for the student at home and school. So yes, a lot of people said true. So I'm going to select true, submit. Wow, true is the right answer. Okay. Now we'll go to the last thing, effective collaboration. Effective collaboration between parents and teachers promotes not just academic success, but also social emotional development in students. How the parents and teachers interact with each other, so that helps the students not just in academics, but also in effective uh, social emotional development. True or false? Come on, everybody, chat. What do you think of this? There is some technical problem from my end. Um, Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? I'm sorry, there was some technical glitch from my end. I got logged out. And thank you so much for being so patient. I thought, some people, I mean, members would be like leaving, but yeah, thank you. I still have all the members. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I got logged out. Okay, so I was actually doing this the chat thing, and I asked you this question. So now this is where we were. Okay, effective collaboration between parents and teachers promotes not just academic success but also social emotional development. I guess many of you have said true, so I'll go with that answer. And now the thing, yes, this is what something I really want you to think and respond. So what I'm going to do is I'm giving you a situation and I want you to understand and tell me whether this is a myth or a reality. Okay, what is it? Is it a myth or a reality? Okay, so please read this statement that is given. Parents who don't attend meetings don't care about their child's education. Okay, so what do you think of this? Is it a myth or it's a reality? Yeah, there are people who are saying it is a myth. And just to further clarify, I'm giving you a situation. So here, please read this. Okay, a teacher noticed a student struggling with reading and writing. The parents never attended parent-teachers meeting. The teacher decided to call them at a convenient time and discovered that the parents work two jobs, both mother and father, or they're working together, and couldn't attend meetings during school hours. After discussing the child's progress, they agreed to simple actions like setting aside 10 minutes a day for a reading practice. So, yeah, I see there are people who are saying it is a reality, and some people said it is a myth. So basically, it is a myth. The reality is these days, even parents work, both father and mother, both of them work. So many parents face challenges like work schedules, and sometimes it could be the language barrier. Okay, they don't know how to communicate, they don't know how to ask whenever they come to the meetings. Maybe you must have observed whenever you conduct some parents meeting, out of 30 parents, maybe there will be two or maybe few parents who do not know how to communicate, how to ask about the progress the child is making. So because they have this kind of language barrier, and that stops them from coming to the parents meeting second time or the third time, or maybe they feel some kind of discomfort in formal school settings which doesn't allow them to. So this is actually a myth. We actually as educators do not should not think that parents sometimes who are not visiting the school are not caring about their children. So when you try to understand, when you empathize, like in the last session, we said empathize first. That's the first strategy. So when you understand the reason why they were not able to come to the particular meeting, you would know that the mother is also working and father is also working. And that is one of the reasons that many schools conduct these parents just meetings on second Saturday or maybe on Saturdays. So Sundays you can't keep the parents teachers meeting, right? Because it's a holiday and everybody wants a family time. Even as teachers, we also need our family time, right? So yes, somebody said mother tongue. Yeah. So maybe they think if I have to go to this school, I am not that fluent in English communication. So how am I going to talk? So there are so many other things that go inside their mind, and that's one of the reasons why they don't come to parents teachers meeting. Yes, not able to make because of their busy schedule. Yes, that happens. Not just with them. I'm giving you my personal example. Just last week, there was a parents teachers meeting of my kids. Okay, they go to a school nearby. Because I'm working and my wife is also working, we couldn't go to the meeting. And we also communicated this to the school and said, and they said it's okay because they know our situation. So whenever we get the time, so that is something, sometime we can just reach out to them or maybe over the phone call, like ask them like how the child is performing. So there are different ways you can deal with the things. Now the actionable strategy, what is the strategy that we need to implement to better address that problem? So remember, please be flexible and find out alternative ways to communicate when they are not visiting the school on a regular basis, because in every parent teachers meeting we keep sometimes the attendance and we mark whether this child's parent has come or not, right? So when you don't find them, so the school has to reach out to them, ask them what on what day they can come to school. So even physical face-to-face meeting is not possible nowadays. It's a day of era of technology, so we get to identify what are the alternative ways we can communicate about the child's progress. Now I'm going to show you the second thing. Here is a statement. Please read this and let me know whether it is a myth or a reality. Parents don't need to be involved in this child's education after elementary or pre-primary school. What do you think? And I'm giving a situation. Please read that. A high school teacher noticed a drop in a student's grades. The child is not performing well, and assumed that the parents weren't involved. Okay. After contacting the parents, she discovered that the parents didn't know the depth of the subject. Okay. The subject required a lot of depth, and parents couldn't help and didn't know how to help. The teacher provided resources to the parents on how to guide their child with study habits and goal setting, which improved student performance. So, after reading this whole context, okay, what do you think? Whether it is a myth or fact? Yeah, I see there are people saying myth. Some people are saying it's a reality. Fact. Okay, so the reality is parental involvement is crucial at all stages of a child's education. Okay, if you say only till nursery, LKG, and UKG, their involvement is important. After that, from grade class one onwards, they are actually not supposed to like participate directly into the child's learning. It's not like that, because when you send some homework, some assignments, you also want the child to go back home and study. So these days a lot of parents, they get all the instructions from the school. That is when they sit with the kids and try to teach them at home. Okay, so parental involvement is crucial at all stages. Okay, not just pre-primary but all stages of a child's education, especially during middle and high school, when students face more academic and social challenges. Okay, parents education also matters in child's learning process. That's true, and that's one of the reasons, how we why we're having this session, where I'm going to explain when you want to collaborate, what are the ways you have to collaborate and how you educate them. Okay, so they don't have enough subject knowledge. That is true. Because they don't have enough subject knowledge, they face this challenge. Let's say if you are giving a math assignment to a student and the child's mother is not a math expert. Imagine trigonometry, statistics, or something. These core topics, you're giving it to the student to practice, and you're expecting the mother or the father to help them out because they don't know the depth of the subject. They can't help. So that is why you need to identify some strategy. Okay, what can be the actionable strategy? Provide guidance to parents on how to help a child academically with simple tools and resources. Remember to give the tools and resources so that they can use them and educate their children at home. So when we do not send the tools and resources, that is when it becomes a challenge. Okay. Now, the next one on your screen is the statement. Please read this. Parents who criticize a lot about the school or teachers are difficult to work with. Now, please tell me, as school teachers, school leaders, what do you think about this? I'm sure there are parents, not, I'm not saying at your school, but at several schools, there are parents. Out of all 30, 40 parents, there could be one or two parent, who always criticize. Okay, yeah, I see there are so many people relating to that, saying it's true, it's reality. If the people who have attended the previous session on the communication, okay, how to empathize with the parents, you would understand how to deal with that situation also. Okay, I'm giving you a situation here. A parent complained about their child was being targeted by the teacher in the class. Okay. The teacher arranged a meeting to explain classroom behavior expectations and shared students' actions that disturb the classes. Okay. The parent admitted they weren't aware of the rules and worked with the teacher to reinforce appropriate behavior at home. Yeah, somebody said, why always parent blaming to teacher that you not teach extra problem? We continue. I mean, yeah, that's the problem. The parents sometimes they come and say you're not teaching something properly. So in the previous session, we also mentioned what they're saying, okay, but in the subconscious mind, it is something else. You need to understand they are worried about their child. Okay, you say, yeah, I hear you. And then you explain these are the strategies I'm using at the school to teach your child. And these are the tools, these are the resources. When you explain them a little bit, that's when they get to know and understand. So now the reality is criticism can be an opportunity to build trust and find solutions collaboratively. So even when they're criticizing something, first try to understand, okay, what is the concern here? Okay, why are they saying this? Why are they openly communicating and telling me all these things? So, and strategy number one, you are actually empathizing with them. You're not answering them in the same manner the way they are talking to you, but you're understanding, you're saying, I hear you, I understand your concern. Okay. Now, let me tell you what is exactly the thing, what is the situation. Because many times, like I said, children, they go back home, they communicate things which are not communicated as the way in they were communicated in the classroom. So you say something, the child goes to the house and says something else, and the parent, because they believe their child, so they misinterpret and they don't understand it properly. So when they come to school for clarification, before they even openly criticize, you are offering them the clarification firsthand, and trying to like identify the problem and the solution together. Now, what is the actionable strategy? Show empathy. Whenever the parents come to school and they're having this kind of criticism or something, so please listen to them carefully. Okay. And then, with somebody said, like, a lot of patience, yes. With patience, you start explaining why something is like that. Okay. And I know it might be challenging in the beginning, but when you do this once and twice, the parent next time, they at least try to listen to you before they start criticizing. So show empathy, communicate clearly. You need to communicate clearly. Okay. If you're communicating only to react, okay, then it's not going to help any of us, not going to help you also. But if you want to communicate to respond, okay, listen and then explain, that is going to help you in, building that bond with the parents and collaboration. And explain the context. Many times, do you believe, please tell me in the chat, many times people start criticizing things because they don't have a context. Am I right or wrong? Please write yes or no. Out of context, people start criticizing, right? Yes, there are so many people who are agreeing with me. Thank you so much. When we give the right context, that is when people try to understand, oh, this is because of that, this is the reason. When they do not have the context, that is when people carry misinformation or whatever the miscommunication was, happened, and that's when they start criticizing, complaining, to the teacher, to the school principal, to everybody. Okay, the next thing is academic success is deeply tied, connected to emotional well being and behavior, making collaborations essential in all areas. Do you think this is a myth or a reality? Yeah, that's true. Somebody said once they realize the reality, everything will be fine. That's true. So when they start criticizing, the first thing we need to do is empathize, listen, and then give them the context. Explain clearly. Okay. Yeah, many people are saying it's a reality. Academic success is deeply tied to emotional well-being. So the example over here is a student was frequently late to school and was distracted during lessons. The teacher assumed it was just laziness until a conversation with the parent revealed that the child was struggling with an anxiety and lack of sleep due to family issues. Together, they created a supportive plan to address the root causes, including counseling and adjustment in classes. So, this is the situation, and the reality is academic successes is deeply tied to emotional well being, yes, and behavior, making collaboration essential in all areas, not just in academic perspectives, academic areas to collaborate, but also in social emotional, aspects. The strategy is whenever you identify some problem like this, talk to the parents about social emotional well being to support the child, the child's academic performance. Okay. So when some parent comes to you and says, my child is not sleeping properly, not eating properly, or having sleep disorder or something, then you need to tell parent how to identify whether the child is going through some social anxiety, some stress. What is it? What is the reason? Okay. When we identify the reason, that's when we get to help the children properly with right strategy. Yeah, thank you everybody for saying that. Now I have this one. Teachers are the experts. So parents should follow their instructions without any question, without question. Teachers are the experts. Okay. They have to teach my child. This statement, the context is this. Teachers are the experts. Whatever the teachers say, we believe and we follow. We don't have anything to do. So is this a myth or a reality? Yes, a lot of people said myth. Need not be yes. Okay, example. A teacher recommended extra math practice for a child, but noticed little improvement, not as for the expectations. After consulting with the parents, she learned that the child had a passion for drawing. Okay, the teacher used math exercises to into creative projects, which sparked the child's interest and improved performance. Okay, the reality is parents are the first educators of their children. Okay, and bring invaluable insights about the child's needs, strengths, and challenges. So, in our parents teachers meeting, also, whenever we communicate, we also need to ask what are the other interests of the child, what are the strengths, because children they behave differently at home. So, collaboration should be a partnership, not a one-way street. Whenever we collaborate with the parents, it has to be a two-way street. Okay, both give and take. Now, the actionable strategy is listen to parents' perspectives to identify and offer personalized strategies that benefit the child in academic performance. So, imagine if I'm not trying to understand why the child is not doing good in maths, and I'm giving all the strategies, all the resources, all extra work to the child, just for the child to improve. But I'm not trying to understand what are the other areas of the child must be interested in. So it is not going to help me, it is not going to help the student, it is not going to help the parent also. So when we try to understand what are the other areas where the child is really good, so that is when you can identify how you can integrate both together or come up with a nice plan where the child can use similar things in both the different situations. Okay, after this is the last one on your screen. Parents only want to hear positive feedback about their child and cannot tolerate any negative feedback. Is this something you relate to? Do you think it is true? Yes, somebody started saying yes. True. Parents only want to hear positive feedback and they cannot hear the negative feedback. Is this true? If you say it is true, of course true. I will ask you a question now. So when you communicate to the parents, recall that experience when you also communicated a constructive feedback. Okay, you said the child is not doing good in these areas. Okay, maybe you did not start with that first. You started with positive feedback, and then you started saying the child is not so good in sports, not so good in arts. Did the parent hear it clearly and did not react to that, listen to you, and understood? Did the parent understand what you're trying to say? This must be a situation, at many places. If you say parents cannot tolerate negative feedback at all, so you have to recall those experiences where you have communicated constructive feedback. You told them this is the area where the child is really not good, and really maybe you're not using the term as not good, maybe you're using something else, a right terminology, and the parent, they were all ears, they were listening. Okay, a teacher hesitated to tell the parents that the child often disturbed the class because she feared backlash from the parents. During a parents teachers meeting, she started by sharing the child's strengths in creativity and teamwork. Then she mentioned the behavior issues and suggested strategies like a reward system for improved focus. The parents were grateful for the balanced feedback and worked with the teacher to address the behavior. This is what we do, right? We start with the positive feedback and then we start telling what are the areas the child needs improvement. Okay, this is the right strategy for all of us to follow. While parents appreciate hearing good things, most also value honest, constructive feedback to help the child improve. So we need to remember this, and immediately starting with the negative feedback, first tell what the child is really good at, and then you start talking about what are the areas the child needs improvement. That will help. Now, the actionable strategy. Okay, be empathetic. I'm telling you again and again when we are collaborating with the parents or talking to them. So we need to be very empathetic and be solution focused. Okay, while giving feedback, make parents as partners in addressing the challenges. That is when you will get the right thing. Oh yeah, I have this particular thing. I am gonna share this link in the chat. What you're going to do is you are going to, where is it? There are a few things there. You need to just respond just by clicking, all the responses. So once you are done, please click on that. You will get something like this. And I'll open from here also. If you're joining this webinar using a mobile phone, you can see something like this. Oh, I've done it. All right. Okay. I see there are 6, 7 members who have already started responding to this. Great. I have used a parent feedback form. If you have used the parent feedback form, you can. All right. I guess that is 40%, 38%. You see, based on your responses, you know, we can see which part of out of those three options, has got the major vote. So sometimes you have used, sometimes you have not. Now I'm giving you the second question. It must be on your screen now. I have held a parents teachers meeting this month. If you have, you can answer this, or if it is due next month, you can just opt that also. Thank you, everybody. I see that many of you are actively like responding here. 11 members, one person. Yeah. I need from everyone. How many? 55 members we have here. Just click on that link, which I shared in the chat. After that, you'll get to this particular dashboard, this screen, and then you just have to respond. So, okay, I think everybody is done. I need one more person. All right, great. All right, now I'll take you to the next one. Okay, everybody, I'm going to take you to the next one. Next slide. Okay. I have faced challenges in balancing parent communication. How do you respond to this? All right, always, sometimes, never. Everybody, please. Okay, I got 27 responses. I need, yeah, 28, 29, and 30. We'll go to the next one. Two more people. Okay, Mr. Neelam Kumar, you need to click on the link which I shared so that you will come to this question, which I'm sharing right now. And then, yeah, 30 done. Then you can respond. Okay, next one. I use messaging apps for sending updates to parents. Messaging applications sometimes. Wow, 67%, always. Great. Now I'm seeing many people are like actively responding to these messages. And also here. Yeah, I'll respond to one of the messages which is there in the chat once I go back to the previous thing. Okay, great. 31 responses. Now I'm taking you to the next one. I set shared goals with the parents. In a parents teachers meeting, when you collaborate with the parents, you communicate and you make the goals together. How are we going to help the child in the coming months, coming weeks? Wow. Okay, 23 members done. Always, yes, great. If you're doing that, really great. Sometimes, yeah, you need, there is something we need to do. Never, these people, you need to, whenever you conduct parents meeting, you need to communicate some of the goals that you have for the children so that they'll also equally participate. Okay, I guess I'll move to the next one. 28 members done. Now, next one. I have celebrated a student success with the parents. How many of us do that? Okay. So now, wow. Always, sometimes. Okay. We have the balance here, always and sometimes. Great. Yeah. All right. Thank you, 26, 27 members. Now I'm taking to the next one. I have suggested some home activities for the students. Wow, great. Thank you, everybody. 55% always, 45% sometimes. So whoever is doing it on a regular basis, please continue doing that. That will help the parents and children learn something better at home. Okay, I'm going to the next one now. I have received helpful suggestions from parents. How many of us receive some good suggestions from the parents? If you have received, so please let me know in this. Wow. Always, sometimes you see it's a big pie, like big pie for some, sometimes. Always, yes, great. Okay, 27 members, 28 members have responded. Okay, now I'm taking to the next one. I have used technology to collaborate with the parents. To what extent have you used technology? Okay. And somebody said you also encourage parents also. Great if you're doing that. Here we have mix of responses. 12% people said never, they have never used. So maybe because of the region and whatever the formalities you have at your school, but at many places, people are using technology to communicate feedback, to communicate everything with the parents. All right, that's it. Now I'm coming back to this particular thing. Thank you everybody for responding and actively participating in that in this particular quick poll. Now, here, what parents know and what parents need to know. I know we are going to the last few minutes of the webinar, but since 5-10 minutes have gone just because of the technical glitch, so I'll cover this up in this particular 5-10 minutes. So whenever we communicate and collaborate with the parents, it's also important for us to remember what parents already know and what they need to know. Okay, that will also help us understand what are the areas you can collaborate with. Now, before I start this, I have a simple question. You can use the chat to answer that question. So the question is, do you think collaboration, okay, when two or three people collaborate, do you think collaboration only happens when two people meet physically, like face to face, one another, or collaboration can have different modalities also? Is it really mandatory for the people who are collaborating to be in a single place at a time? Or there could be like different methods, different ways to collaborate, different modalities also. Yeah, I'm seeing there are different ways. Yes, many people are saying different ways, different. Yes. Okay, thank you everybody for responding. So whenever we want to collaborate with the parents, this is important for all of us. Yes, I agree with everybody. It can be in different ways. Yes, it can be many ways. So it is not important, mandatory for the parent also to be in front of you when you collaborate with them. So whatever we communicate, send something to the parents with proper instructions and tools, and they are helping the child at home. And apart from that, if there are some concerns, some behavioral problems, or anything that you want to fix, so when we communicate with the parent and they reach out to you, or sometimes they identify a problem, so I know you definitely will agree with me. At times, parents they themselves take the first initiative in telling you, informing you that that my child is actually having this behavioral problem. Okay, and how can we help? How can we support the child? How can we change the child? Okay, I mean in positive way. So all that is happening because there is some kind of a modality, some kind of a collaboration thing going on. So when we want to help the learners in their academics and change their personality, or develop them socially emotionally, so not just wanting the parents to be present in front of us, but using all the different methods whichever is applicable and usable, and sending those things to them, and then asking them to just make sure that everything is happening at the right time and with the right strategy. So that is also a collaboration. So their child, what they know is their child's grade and report card results. This is normally what all the parents know. But what they need to know is how grades are assessed, how the assessment happens. Okay, how is the assessment happening? That is really important. Okay. So the second thing is their child has some homework to complete. Every single day, parents might ask their children, "Do you have any homework today?" And the child says, "Yeah, I have," or maybe I don't have the homework. So, but what they need to know is how to support and guide in solving the problems. The teacher might have given the homework, the teacher must have given the homework, but the parents need to know how to support, how to guide. That's what something they need to know, and we need to teach them, educate them. Now, the next thing is their child's personality at home. Okay, parents, because kids, they see their kids at home, so they know their personality. Sometimes they say, "My child is shy. My child is. I mean, he doesn't open up." So there could be many things. So what they need to know is how their child interacts with peers and teachers in different situations, because that happens at the school. Maybe the child is shy at home, but when the child is at the school, the child is a different personality altogether. So that is something they're not aware of. And that is the reasons why we need to collaborate with the parents and share. Now their child's struggle with a subject or concept, because they're seeing the child at home and they see how my child is struggling with maths or any other subject. But they also need to know how learning challenges can be solved. They might not be aware of that. They need to know. That is why they need to reach out to school and collaborate. School rules exist and should be followed. If you see, there are many parents who believe these are the rules and the rules should be followed, and they might not know what is the rationale behind the school rules and behavioral policies. Okay, I can ask you a simple question. Many of us here, I guess, you know uh, have kids, have children, and they go to different schools, or maybe they study at the same school where you teach. So the question is, when we have our own parents teachers meeting, or when we go to a parents teachers meeting of our child's school, so how do we react there? How do we talk? And whenever the that teacher who is teaching my child, our child, let's say, so they communicate some feedback, positive and constructive. How do we respond? How do we react? Because we are aware of these realities, this logic, the rationale behind that. So we do not react, but we accept. Okay. So some rule, some policy that you have implemented at your school, and you do not want that kind of a policy or rule to be implemented at your child's school. Okay. That is completely unfair, injustice, right? So because we know the logic, we can't expect all the parents to know the same logic, right? So the rationale behind that. So whenever they come to school, you need to explain that. So extracurricular activities are optional. Some of the parents believe that extracurricular activities are optional. Okay, but they need to know how these activities build teamwork, leadership, and self-confidence. Maybe you might hear this when there is some field trip where you want to take the kids to some place, or maybe some activity you have at your school. So, and you want the participation by all the children, and some child comes to you and says, "No, my parents are not allowing this because," and when you ask the reason, they say, "No, we don't think this is really important." They know this, but what they need to know is how that activity, that initiative, that project is going to develop the teamwork, critical thinking, creativity, leadership, and self-confidence. When we when we communicate that clearly, that is when they will learn and understand and follow that. Now, things that parent want from schools, all the parents, they definitely want all these things from the schools for effective collaboration. And schools, teachers, they all need to ensure that these things are happening properly. First thing is regular updates. And when I'm saying regular updates, I do not mean every single day. No, regularly. If you're sending the updates 2 times a week, so every week you do, that's also a regular update on their child's progress, strengths, and the areas of improvement. Second thing is the meaningful opportunities to contribute to the child's learning, not just some random activity, random thing we are sending to the parent, and they are also getting confused. Because a few minutes back, you understood that parents might not have the depth of the subject. Okay. And you send something to the, I mean, you gave some homework or some assignment to the child, some kind of a project, and parents don't know how to do that, how to help. So when we send something with clear instructions, simple, easy to read, easy to follow, and that is when parents can also meaningfully contribute to it. Now the next thing is practical tips on how they can support their child at home, not just any random idea, but when we suggest some practical ideas, they'll definitely feel happy about it and they'll help. Now, flexible schedules for meetings and workshops or school events. So, whenever you conduct some kind of a meeting or something, so like I said in the beginning, some parents might not have the time to come and participate. Okay. So, how are we offering some flexibility? Okay. Not doing it again and again. So, okay. Because at school, if some parent has not come now, so you don't want to like do that the next week and with some other parent in the following week. So, it will also burn you out. So, how are we going to be flexible? That's something, parents also need that flexibility. Now the next thing is recognition of the child's achievements and efforts. So they just want the school and the teachers to know, okay, how much my child is putting the efforts. The resources or strategies to address specific academic and social challenges. So if they have some kind of behavioral problem or social problem, okay, let's say stress or an anxiety or anything, so how are we providing that kind of a resource or some strategy so that at their home they can support the child or just observe the child. Maybe they are not expert enough to like provide the right support at the right time, but they'll always rely on you, come back to you and say, this is what I have observed, can you help, because I am not an expert, how can you help? That something can be done. Now things that parents would do for school when we have proper collaboration communication channels at school. So what do the parents would do in return? Okay, so provide teachers with information about the child's interests and all. So this is something you would receive from all the parents, or maybe the parents who are really conscious and they are also equally putting in the efforts and contributing to their academic their child's academic success. Attend parent teachers meetings, workshops, or school events. So something you have communicated with me, and I really liked it as a parent, and I'm implementing it. So next time when you conduct any meeting, I would definitely look forward to come back to the meeting and say, and tell you this is what I have implemented in the previous weeks and months. I have seen this kind of improvement, and this is what I'm looking forward to. That would be a lovely conversation. Next, reinforce classroom learning by helping with homework, whatever homework we give. So, and the classroom learning that happens. So that is when parent, will also do the same thing for the school also. Create a structured environment for studying and completing assignments. This is also something you might have observed. Some parents who also create that kind of a study environment in their house. So in lockdown time, corona time, many parents, they tried their level best to buy the gadgets, laptop, internet connection, wi-fi connection, and study table and all that. Maybe you can just go on, maybe some find some research papers or articles, and you can check during lockdown how many parents who are not even using technology or they did not have proper study set up at their house, because the education was completely offered online. How many parents bought the mobile phones, how many of them bought technology like gadgets, wi-fi connection, and the study tables, and the that kind of an environment in their homes, because parents can do anything for the betterment of their children, the welfare of their children. So yes, so they would definitely create when we communicate it properly. Okay, the kind of environment we want in their houses. So I remember, long back when I was working in Kerala, so we brought this initiative where we said to the parents we want a home library at all the homes. So yeah, it would be difficult, like to some parents, we don't know whether they are financially stable or they have some kind of financial problem. But we said we also gave clear instructions what kind of a book, I mean home library we are expecting. We do not want you to go to the market and buy like costly books and just for the sake of a home library keep it. The story books that might not cost, let's say 50 rupees or 100 rupees, whichever is available in the market, the stories, because we really want your children to read, improve their reading skills, and you know learn English reading and comprehension in a better way. So not just there, we personally visited the houses of those parents. I myself, visited many homes, And I have seen some kids have 10 books, some kids have 5 books, some kids have like 15 books, 20 books. So, and then just to promote the reading and that initiative, we also hosted book fair at the school. Okay. So different things, people can do just like what we did. So when we give clear instructions and communicate it properly, parents can definitely like do anything. So offer constructive feedback to the teacher on strategies or methods that work for the children. So they might come to you and say, Madam, something you told me to try. Okay. And it helped me to some extent, but can you tell me something better? So if some parent is coming back to you after you start developing that collaboration, that relationship with the parents, that will be a success, for you also. Encourage their child to communicate openly with the teachers. They would also ask their children to talk to you properly, openly, and share your concerns and problems. Let's say many children, because they feel shy, or they feel like some people might judge me. If they have some social problem and anxiety or stress or anything, they would not be communicating that properly with some adults. Let's say they might tell their parent, their friends, but not their teacher. So when children they communicate with the teacher, that is when you get to know the problem. This is one of the reasons why at many schools, since there are many cases of stress and anxiety, depression among younger kids, so at many schools, there are counselors. Their responsibility is to identify the children who are going through some kind of problems like this, and they tell them strategies how to cope up with stress, how to cope up with an anxiety, how to reduce it. And they also call the parent and also tell the parent, okay, this is what your child has said. There is something you need to think, you need to do about it. Your child is going through a lot of stress. How can you help? How can I help? That would be an amazing thing. Okay, the last thing is the key benefits of having a whole parent teacher collaboration. As you can see, the first benefit is it will help in the academic support. It will help the children do well in their academics. Okay, and second thing is the behavior management. There might be some concerns, in the behavior, but when we have this collaboration effectively happening, so in whichever way you communicate and talk to the parent and give them some strategies, some ideas, and they're also valuing your feedback and coming back to you and telling you, yes, I have also observed this kind of a behavior in my child, and how can we help? So together, both of like the parent and the teacher can work and correct whatever the mistake the child is making. Social emotional development, yes, this is another big benefit of having proper parent teacher collaboration. So it will also help in skill building and the extracurricular activities. So these are the few key benefits of having a parent teacher collaboration. Like I asked you a question, do you think it is really mandatory for all the parents to be, or some parents to be right in front of you? That is when you call it a collaboration. Many of you said no. Yes. So it is not that way. I mean, when we set those methods, those ways, in what way I'm communicating with some or all the parents. Okay. So when we do that, at least just to start with, okay, maybe 5 parents or maybe 10, slowly and gradually, those parents would start respecting whatever you're doing, and they value every single opinion you give. And they also help the children to do well in their academics, change their behavior, develop their skills, and become social emotionally better. So we are towards the end of the webinar. We have 60 members now. Regular follow-up also matters a lot from the parents and teachers so that child may excel in studies. True, I completely agree. Every Friday, parents can meet with the subject teacher with the appointment we follow in our school. Awesome. If you are doing something like that, it's really good. And teachers, as teachers, we also need to believe whatever progress we are communicating, how are we going towards the goal? If this is the big goal we have, slowly and gradually we're making some progress, and parents are helping in both the ways. Thank you. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask me question. Before that, please, you can raise your hand raise emoji, or maybe type in the chat, say you have a question or something. You can type the question there also, or if you want to ask a question, you can turn on your microphone and ask. So please follow us on all the social media handles that I'm going to post. This is from LinkedIn. We have a dedicated page on LinkedIn. Please give us a follow there. Oh, sorry. What did I do? Yeah. So please give us a follow on LinkedIn. And before that, we also want you to join our WhatsApp community. So can you tell me how many of you have already joined our WhatsApp community? It is a community where we share the resources and also the posters about the next webinars. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can join. I have shared the link here. The second link which I have shared, that is of the WhatsApp community. So the recording of this webinar will also be shared. And like last time, we have asked what is the way, you want our sessions to be like uploaded, where you want to be uploaded. So many of you said YouTube. So we are going to post our webinar recordings on YouTube. And we'll also share the link with you here as well. My question is how nowadays why directly to only teachers that you didn't pay attention my word, but my thoughts. If both see it matters, students really getting improvement. That is true. It's also because parents are not aware of how to communicate their feedback or their complaint or concern. So many times what happens, this parents, they start directly talking about the teacher, saying you are not doing it really well. So but as a teacher, you plan the lesson, you go to the classroom, you also plan the worksheet, the activity, and you teach. And when you're teaching, you also see there are 25, 30 students in the classroom. Who is responding, who is not responding, who is participating, who is not participating, right? So you have to make a proper observation of children who are participating and not participating. And when you see some consistent behavior, okay, in some children, okay, note them, write them down, write an anecdote, and when the parents come, listen to them. If they're saying, hey, you're not teaching properly, listen to them, empathize, okay, and then clarify. These are the things we have been doing, these are the things we have done, and we have observed that your child, this particular child, is not paying much attention in the classroom. So I would like to know what are the interests of this particular child so that I can guide the student properly. So that way it will help. Join the WhatsApp. Thank you everybody for saying when will be the next session. The next session will be on next Saturday. Like I said in the beginning, every Saturday we are conducting these webinars. So today was the 5th or the 6th webinar. Next will be the next one, next Saturday. I would like to join, sir, because it's very informative always. Thank you so much. I have shared the link. If you want me to share again, I'll copy and paste it. Please join our WhatsApp community, and you would receive the notification of the next webinars in the community also. How will we get the certificates, sir? The certificates will be sent to you in the community. Okay, in the community you have joined. The link of the certificates will be shared there. Is there any link to get a participation certificate? Yes, that's what I said. You would get it in the community. Can someone, the people who join maybe the first time, please turn on your microphone and communicate your feedback. I would like to hear from the people now. For the last 1 hour, 1.5 hour, I've been talking. So anyone can do that, right? Thank you so much. And I'm sorry, during this webinar, there was some technical glitch. I was trying from my end, it completely like eh, hang hang mode, so I have to like close it and then join it. So I would like to hear the feedback. Can anyone please turn on your microphone and then you can communicate. If you want to communicate in Hindi, Telugu, Marathi, Kannada, any language, please. Yeah, Ekta Serene, please. I am going to. Yes.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I'm
Yeah, good
audible?
evening. Yes, yes, you are loud and
I think
clear.
it was Ekta Serene. I'm from Bhopal, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And I myself is a teacher trainer and a counselor
Great.
dealing with behavior counseling for the children. And
Great.
I've been doing this from last like 15, 20 years.
Awesome.
And again, I think every time you listen to someone, it's always a good learning. So I
Absolutely.
think we got to learn a number of things because each one has a different perspective to understand things. So it was a great learning time. I think I was being there a little late, joined you, but I think every aspect you covered was, I think, to be taken care by each and every teacher, the educator, as well as we can cover up and we can get the weakest link in the class. So I think the things can be covered in a very, very beautiful manner.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
thank you once again. It was lovely, lovely. It's an insightful session, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the feedback, ma'am. Thank you so much. I would like to ask other members if they have anything to say. This is the opportunity. Otherwise, we have to wait for another week, 7 days, to again come back live and have the session. So before, I end this thing. So this is something which I really believe in, what parents know and what parents need to know. So, and in the previous webinar also, we have communicated, okay, whenever parents come with some certain thing, they communicate something, but in the subconscious mind, they actually mean something else. So even if sometimes they're criticizing, they are actually not criticizing. They are worried about the child. So we need to empathize, listen to that, and then talk to them properly, communicate clearly, and explain the context, give them the context. So when we do that, that is when they observe and also appreciate all the efforts like by the teacher. Can session be conducted on Sunday? Actually, we are free that day. Sundays, it might be a little difficult because Saturday is the day when we thought the teachers like this time they could invest in learning something and ask anything. And this is how we also want our teachers to end their week. Okay, so after this, next day is a family day for everybody. So some of the members, these members would be free, but it would be difficult for all other participants to join, right? So some timing will work for somebody and it might not work for someone else also. So looking at this particular situation, in the beginning itself, we decided Saturday, this is the right time for us to like conduct. And I'm really happy, like there were 60 plus participants today. So that's really great. Any other person would like to say anything? And if you want to turn on your video camera also, you can turn on the camera and give us the feedback. Or if you have any question, you can ask the question also. Only community link is there. Please share the link for attendance. We would definitely do that. Okay. We have not shared the feedback link like how we did last time. So we have given you the community link of our WhatsApp community and also the LinkedIn. So, okay, can I ask something like the people, how many of you use LinkedIn regularly? If you use LinkedIn, you can please type in the chat and okay, great. We have one person. Not always, sometimes, yeah, depends. So if you use LinkedIn regularly, you can, yeah, not regularly. Okay. Never. Okay. Not always. So I would definitely be happy if any one of you who use LinkedIn once in a week or once in a month or maybe not regularly, but if you can do one thing, maybe you can write about our webinars and post mention our organization Keystone Center for Innovation and Teacher Education. So it would help us reach maximum people for our next webinars also. I definitely appreciate that if someone would like to do it. Okay, thank you, Mr. Pradeep. So if you are doing that, please mention Keystone. This is the name of the organization, the same name that you have been seeing. Somebody said, great session. So sometimes parents trouble us too much and we lose our temper, but now we can be balanced. Yes. See, parent, if they are coming with a lot of anger and aggression, okay, you have to understand that there is something they are worried about too much. Okay. And I know, okay, they should not show their temper and aggression and anger to the teachers, because that also can demotivate a teacher, because we are all human beings. But when they come to school with certain thing, certain situation, we need to empathize first, listen to them, let them complete, then slowly and gradually explain. They might not respond properly at the first time, but second time or the third time when you have the similar approach, they then start respecting the teacher, listening to all the instructions and communication, and they will think before, okay, I should not show my anger, and they'll talk properly. So that's how, we have to balance it, by empathizing with them. Okay. All right, all the members, thank you everybody for joining. Now it's time we say goodbye. One session should be for students who study abroad classes. Yes, we would think about that. If you want to take a screenshot of any of like, maybe you must have somebody must have taken. So you can take a screenshot and maybe post on LinkedIn by tagging us and writing about our webinars. That would be really lovely, especially for class 10. Yes. Oh, what did I do?